I was born an only child. My mother and dad looked at me and they said, that's enough. Both of them were very hard-headed. They fought a lot, argued a lot. When I was 12 years old, I joined the Baptist church, was baptized, and sat on the front pew to drip dry. And the next 10 years was as lost as I could be. Mother and Dad fussed a lot, and from the time I was about 8 or 9, I sort of became a referee. When I was 13, I had a chance to go away to military school, and I went. I thought I wouldn't have to play referee there. Stayed there for 6 years. Came out of military school, went directly into the Army. They put lieutenant bars on me and sent me over to Europe in World War II as a reconnaissance platoon leader in one of Patton's armored divisions. So I got all expense paid tour of France, Germany, and Czechoslovakia from the top of an armored car. But that's vastly overrated as entertainment. But I think if I'd gotten killed in World War II, I'd have gone straight to hell. It wasn't until I got back from the war. And my father, incidentally, decided when I went in he should, so he signed up and went through basic training at Fort Riley, went through OCS, believe it or not, at Camp Custer, Michigan, the oldest man ever went through Camp Custer. They sent him to the Pacific, and he spent the rest of the war in Hawaii. Tough assignment. But we got back, went and worked together, and we were building houses. And after World War II, you could hire people to do nearly anything except work. You could hire them to lie, cheat, steal, but nobody would want to work. And one July, middle of July, over 100 degrees, hot, I went across the road to see what our competitor was building in the way of houses. And I saw an old boy over there, great heavy set, big old boy, and he was driving 8-penny nails. And he'd hit that nail with one lick, and then the second lick he'd down it all the way. And sweat pouring off of him, and I hadn't seen anything like that since before the war. I happened to know the building superintendent, a guy named Jim Wilcoxon. I said, Jim, who is that guy? He said, well, I don't know. He's a carpenter. I said, I can see that, idiot, but why is he working like that? He said, I don't know, unless because he's a preacher. I said, where does he preach? He said, it has a little frame building at 39th and Barnes. And I thought to myself, if that old boy preached like he drive nails, I'd go hear him. And I did. And under his ministry, he didn't know much. He knew the Bible and knew Jesus, and he preached both. But under the ministry of that old boy for about 4 or 5 weeks, I finally figured out I was lost as a goose. And I got right with God. And life has not been a bed of roses. Shortly after the 56th Crusade, my wife of 15 years and 3 children filed suit for divorce while I was at a meeting in Colorado, men's meeting at the Navigator headquarters. Well, it's then my dad died. Here I am, 37 years old, limited education, not much smarts, and here I'm thrown in the midst of it. And while I was up there at Colorado, a guy called me that I'd left in charge of the business, and he said, is everything all right between you and your wife? I said, yeah. He said, well, she's buying a lot of clothes. I said, well, you know, we got 3 girls, and they got to go to school, and I told her to go ahead and buy the school clothes. He said, no, she's buying more than that. Said, you better call. So I called my house. Nobody answered. I called her stepdad's house, and he answered. I said, Bill, where's Betty? He said, I'm not going to tell you. I said, why? He said, she's filed suit for divorce. You better get home. That's how I found out. That fought through the courts 4.5 years, which is an interesting run, you know. But during those years, I learned a lot about the Lord that I probably would have learned no other way, because those were hard days. Looked like it would be worse than broke. But when Dad died, I told the Lord, I said, Lord, I don't know what to do with these businesses. And if you want us to go broke, just pull the stopper and we'll go down the drain. But if you want to bless it, I'm going to tell you, it belongs to you. It's your deal, not mine, God. And these last years, he's done a good job of looking after his business. But in the midst of that, of course, I've been trying to help men.